Good afternoon. I'm Titilope Adegolu with Global News. In the news, Port Harcourt refinery to produce 60,000 barrels of oil per day. Student kills 14 people, injures 25 at Prague University. United Nations raises alarm over imminent famine in Gaza.
This is the news.
On Thursday, the federal government announced the mechanical completion of rehabilitation work on Area 5 plant of the Port Harcourt Refining Company in Rivers State. It said the first phase of the plant had been completed as the facility will start refining 60,000 barrels of crude oil after the Christmas break. About 170 liters of refined petroleum products can be obtained from a barrel of crude oil. This implies that the 60,000 barrels per day production from the Port Harcourt refinery can provide an estimated 10 million liters of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, and other refined products. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, which is the manager of the refinery, revealed that the second phase of the facility will be completed in the fourth quarter of 2024 and will lead to the refining of 150,000 barrels per day by the facility. Now, away from Nigeria, sporadic clashes have broken out in Guinea between groups of youths throwing stones and the security forces who retaliated by firing tear gas. Hundreds of protesters, most of them hooded or masked, set up roadblocks at several points leading into the center of the capital, overturned dustbins and burned tires. Many make a living running motorbike taxis and are calling for the reopening of service stations for all types of fuel. On Thursday, the government said the powerful explosion and fire early on Monday at the state oil company's main depot in the Kalum district of Conakry near the port killed 23 people and injured 241, revising upwards a previous toll. The government said investigations are continuing to determine whether more victims remain missing. In the meantime, the Czech Republic has declared Saturday a national day of mourning after a gunman killed 14 people and injured 25 at a university in Prague. President Peter Pavel expressed his great sadness and helpless anger at what he called totally unnecessary loss of life. The gunman, who police said had been eliminated, is believed to have also killed his father and may be linked to the death of 2 people last week. It is one of the worst mass shootings in recent European history. The shooting began around 3 p.m. local time on Thursday at the facility at the Faculty of Arts building of Charles University in the center of the Czech capital. The gunman opened fire in the corridors and classrooms of the building, apparently killing at random, while staff and students used furniture to barricade themselves into rooms. Dramatic footage shared on social media shows people jumping to safety from an exterior ledge several stories up. Police say the gunman was a 24-year-old student at the university and had no prior criminal record. 3 police officers in the U.S. state of Washington have been found not guilty of all charges in the 2020 killing of a black man whose death drew comparisons with the murder of George Floyd. Christopher Burbank and Matthew Collins were found not guilty of murder and manslaughter, while Timothy Rankin was acquitted of manslaughter following a 10-week trial. Manuel Ellis died while in police custody in Tacoma, Washington on March 3, 2020. Footage presented at the trial showed the officers putting Ellis, who was unarmed, in a chokehold. shooting him with a stun gun and pinning him to the street with their body weight. In video of the encounter, Ellis can be heard pleading with the officers, telling them, "I can't breathe, sir." The police officers' lawyers argue that Ellis died from a lethal dose of methamphetamine combined with an existing heart condition, and that he had kicked the door of their police car. Prosecution witnesses told the jury that the officers had been the aggressors, making an unprovoked effort to subdue Ellis that began while he was standing on the footpath. You're on to Global News on Adaba 88.9 FM Akure, transmitting from Ilaramokin. After the break, United Nations raises alarm over imminent famine in Gaza. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
This is the news.
Welcome back. The news continues. For news update and live streaming, visit our website www.adaba889.fm or download Adaba FM app on Google Play Store. You can be part of us on our social media platforms www.facebook.com/AdabaFM88.9 on Facebook, at Adaba889FM on Instagram, and Adaba FM TV on YouTube. You can provide us information via email newsroom@adaba889.fm. Fighting in the Gaza Strip has continued, with Israeli bombardments in the north and south of the territory and Hamas firing rockets towards south and central Israel, with sirens sounding in Tel Aviv on Thursday. The UN's World Food Program spokesperson Shaza Mogabri has reiterated the need for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire to avert what she said was a very serious threat of famine in Gaza. She said more than a quarter of households there currently face extreme hunger. Trucks bringing aid from Egypt have delivered some food, water and medicine, but the United Nations says the quantity of food is just 10% of what is needed for the territory's population. Now, after 2 weeks of talks, the UN Security Council is today due to vote on a much-delayed resolution concerning humanitarian aid for Gaza, and the US has expressed support for the latest draft. The vote had been in limbo after Washington voiced widespread concerns with the draft, but last night US Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield called it a very strong resolution that the United States can support. She did not, however, say outright if the US will vote in favor or abstain. Still on Gaza war, the entire 2.3 million population of Gaza is facing crisis levels of hunger, and the risk of famine is increasing each day. This is according to a United Nations-backed report. The extent of hunger in Gaza has eclipsed even the near famines in Afghanistan and Yemen of recent years. And finally, to sport, the Super Eagles ended 2023 as Africa's 6th best team and 42nd in the world, according to FIFA's monthly rankings. The year 2023 has largely been an impressive one for the Eagles, who suffered only one defeat but recorded 4 wins and 3 draws. On the African continent, Morocco retained their #1 spot and 13th in the world. They are followed by second-place Senegal, who also maintained their 20th place in the world. Tunisia also remained unmoved in the current ranking as they are placed 3rd in Africa and 28th globally. Algeria and Egypt, who complete the top 5 places in Africa, also finished the year in 30th and 33rd position in the world, respectively. World champions Argentina continue to reign supreme in the world ranking after their 1-0 win over Brazil in last month's World Cup qualifier. And now to end global news, a recap of our top stories. We told you in the news that the mechanical completion of rehabilitation work on Area 5 plant of the Port Harcourt Refining Company in Rivers State will produce 60,000 barrels of crude oil per day. A student has killed 14 people and injured 25 at a university in Prague in Czech Republic. The United Nations has raised the alarm that entire 2.3 million population of Gaza is facing crisis levels of hunger and the risk of famine is increasing each day. That's Global News. It was edited by Patience Ibe. I'm Titilope Adegolu. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon.
The world moves at a fast pace, and news breaks with the same speed.
Sometimes you find the news, and sometimes the news finds you.
All stations can keep up. At Adaba FM, we'll not only give you news at the speed of nanosecond, but we'll also break it down with up-to-date analysis, informed opinions, and distinct professionalism. That's why you love us. Adaba 88.9 FM,